Hey guys, welcome to Test This Tech. Of course, I'm your host today, Jarrell, and we're doing an iPad 10.9 review. I'm actually using the iPad right now to record this video alongside with using the EPOS B20 USB condenser microphone plugged into the iPad actually. So you're seeing the video from the landscape front-facing camera and the microphone plugged into it. So as you can see, I wanted to get this for not just potentially YouTube content, but mainly for music audio production. I've been using a Android phone, using it with Koala. You've probably seen some of my live videos. A lot of my music friends have been saying, hey, you should get an iPad. I've been holding out for a long time. There was a sale on Friday, $254 for the 64 gigabyte version. A lot of videos on YouTube have been saying as well that this is definitely the right time to get it. It's still worth it in these times. So I want to give it a shot. So one of the huge features that I really like about the iPad is that the file management is really fluid and makes it really smooth for your workflow when you're working on music. For example, if you have Google Cloud or Google Drive, technically is the correct term, when you download the app and set it up, and when you're saving your songs through Koala, it does add that as an option to save it versus having for the Android having to download it and then re-upload it into Google Drive. This adds it as if it is a separate USB drive on there. It gives it as an additional option. Also, one thing I really enjoy is that when you export it through Koala, you also have the option to upload it into iCloud as well. So for this device, because it does not have a whole lot of storage onto it, it's going to be a huge win for me to export these large files into iCloud or Google Drive, because I don't want to fill up the space on the iPad. Thus, it would be reducing how speedy the iPad has been working. One of the biggest things that encouraged me to get the iPad is the USB Type-C function. That means that I can use all my devices that are USB Type-C into it, such as my M Audio Air, which has 3 USB ports that I can plug in, some storage that has all my drums and samples and whatnot on it. Plug in my MIDI controllers, such as the Starry Pad, the Donner, if I don't want to use the touchscreen for the pads, which I could, because the touchscreen responsiveness is really incredible on the iPad. For those who have iPad, they obviously know this, but someone who's in the world of Android, it's really impressive. Even when it comes to plugging in a MIDI controller, not even using the touchscreen, responsiveness is pretty great. Also, I can plug in my Zoom R4, which is a great trusty handheld recording device here. It has 2 combo jacks on the back, so I can plug in my microphones, instruments, and it recognizes it through the iPad. No fuss, no muss. And the fact that it has this type of quality as well with the camera, this is just kind of a Swiss Army knife, to give some really nice professional-ish, type of recording. So as you can see, the iPad 64 gigabyte 10.9, I think it's a really great option to get, especially if you do have USB Type-C devices. If you're going from Android to iPad, I think it's really a no-brainer. I think back in the day when Apple was having their devices, there was very much a difficulty for those who were going from Android to iPad, and the connectivity of it, having these different applications work with Apple as well. It was very difficult, and it wasn't a very smooth process. Apple has now kind of changed that, where their software really works well with devices and devices and applications outside the Apple ecosystem, thus kind of swaying people towards Apple, which makes a lot of sense. Now, I'm not going to be one of those guys that says, that has that weird division, Android as a lot of Apple people tend to do for some reason. But at the end of the day, back on topic, iPad 10.9, I think it's great for music specifically. If you're looking to do video editing, heavy video editing, alongside with music production, I would get a more powerful iPad, such as the iPad Pro, the M2 or the M4. Even the iPad Airs are a good option as well. I would say get a USB Type-C version if you can. There's just more functionality with everything, all these different devices. You're just going to have more of a fluid experience, in my opinion. But other than that, I think it's a win. Again, J Powell Music, Test This Tech. Catch you guys next time. Thanks.